you'll be able to not only spot the liars, but also turn these lies into your favor. And ideally, it will also be able to inspire trust because once you're able to spot the lies and have confidence in spotting the lies, you have more trust towards everyone else who actually speak truthfully. And this strong sense of trust will also trickle into your collaboration and team leadership and inspire more collaboration. So, in essence, you will learn how to increase your team performance. You, if you don't have a team, you will also be able to apply the same dynamics to manifest with soft power, where yes, you can hustle, grind, and force things into existence, or you can do exactly the same thing, enjoy the journey, or delegate it, and allow the things flow to you with ease. Or if nothing else, you will also be able to ditch the manipulation. Idea that someone could manipulate you will completely be erased from your consciousness. It will feel insensical. Like what? How? Like how is that even possible? So yeah, manipulation doesn't exist, and it will just be abundantly clear that this is not even possible. So it's not even a problem. So you're probably wondering who is lying to me and how do I spot all this? But before we go in, it's important for you to understand that the fact that someone is lying to you means nothing. There's no emotional charge to what someone is lying you to about, why they're lying to you. Like it means nothing. Your parents could be lying to you all the time. You're like it doesn't matter who's lying to you and what about. It means nothing. And by it means nothing, it means it makes you feel in there's there's no emotion being created. That's what I'm trying to say. And that means you are in control of your emotions. And if you feel anything about someone lying to you or even imagining that someone lies to you, it's only because you create stories and meanings around the facts being presented. And this is deep emotional mastery. Realizing and being able to apply that nothing in your life means anything. You're the only one who creates the meaning, therefore you're the only one who decides how you want to feel about these facts. And true master will turn any fact into their favor by remaining positive. And that's exactly where we're going is realization that if you do nothing, the world is rigged in your favor. Like this is the default flow. If you're able to let go of everything, all the subconscious programmings, the beliefs and energy and karma, like whatever you want to label, spirit forces, whatever's affecting your life, if you let go everything and do nothing for the rest of your life, just go with the flow, you will experience reality which is rigged in your favor just by purely doing nothing. And another really powerful teaching that I love from Bashar is that awareness is the last step. So literally, you becoming aware that who that someone is lying to you is end of the story. Like you already know the lie is there. Like there is no problem. You're already in place of power. So deception is no longer possible. And that is the last step. So only thing that's remain is to have this ability to be able reliably, consistently, and effectively call out all the liars. Would that be a worthy skill to acquire? Would it be something valuable for you? Let me know in comments. How would this affect your life? If you were able to know that someone is lying to you, is feeling off, and luckily there is a way. And that simple way is noticing energy drains. So if you zoom in, and I love this map of consciousness. Like this is so powerful. This is a masterclass on its own. But basically, once you understand energy, life becomes so easy. You're almost like having cheat codes enabled. So how to spot lies? Very simple. everything that drains you, by definition, lies to you. So any draining feeling like fear, anger, arrogance, shame, worries. So whatever the negative feeling there is, there's 100% guarantee that feeling to you is lying. Like it's lying. Like why? Because on this scale, everything above 200 is positive, which is the creating reality that you prefer. So if you stay in these states, this is positive states, you create reality you prefer. Everything that is below 200 is negative states. They feel off, they feel bad, and they create reality you don't prefer. And it actually takes effort for you to remain in these states. It actually drains you. And because these states are so draining to you, there's literally no incentive for you to stay in these states. Because, like, if you have to choose between anger and, let's say, love or anger and courage, like, of course, you would pick courage. Like, it's more energy, feels better, more power. And overall, there's like everything is better when you compare these two states. Like, why would you pick anger at any point? You wouldn't, right? So, reason why we experience these states is because these states lure us into by lying, by convincing us, by using some kind of twisted logic to try to, yeah, basically lie to us that this is a good idea. Let's get angry here. Like, oh, there's something to actually to worry about here. Like, look at this evidence here. There's actual things for me to worry. And it is a lie. Like, an ability to recognize this pattern and really understand that this pattern is affecting everything in your life is the biggest gift you can give to yourself. So all it's really required is for you to remain positive. And I don't mean force positive, because if you try to force positivity, that by definition means that you are not positive. That means you're acting out of belief that there's something to be protected, something to be done, and why would you do that? Like, it makes no sense to force positivity unless you're acting out of fear. Therefore, you're actually not forcing positivity, you're forcing fear. There's a mind twist there, and very important one. Because, yeah, forcing positivity is actually acting out of fear. Because why would you force it? Like, it's in abundance already here. If I do nothing, I'm remaining positive by default. It's like when you have a balloon submerged under ocean full of air, it takes an enormous amount of effort to actually bring it down. And then once you let it go, it just rises up to the top. So it takes effort to bring you down in negative emotions. It takes effort to keep you there. And as soon as you let go, you rise up on autopilot. This is how it works, energy on a energetic level. You rise to the top naturally. Natural. And it actually gives you energy. So you're being encouraged to rise. And you're being disencouraged to drop. And you experience more negative, more draining energies the lower you go. You're literally being discouraged by getting feedback. So it's less of remaining positive as directive. It's more remaining positive as intention and direction. Because that reminds you, oh, I have option to rise up. Like, I don't have to be here. And then you can realize, oh, why am I down here? Just letting go. That awareness that something needs to be let go is all that it takes to remove any bad moods, any negative energies, and therefore the wise. So now that you understand that the most important lie to spot is your own self-talk and your own perspective, and realizing that you will self-convince or you will be led to believe things that are not true within first and foremost, and that will dictate your decisions. So let me give you a quick example. Let's say you are a team leader and your team did something, yeah, just missed the deadlines, or there was a important communication to the customer and they missed it. And it appears that they don't care about their job. They're not either not caring or not professional or something going on. So if you show up with these kind of beliefs and this kind of perspective and start teaching them how to do their job, what do you think their response is? Well, from their perspective, they're a player, they're doing their best, they're probably overwhelmed, and someone just shows up trying to teach their job. Like what would I do if someone just showed up to teach my job? Like I would just close off, do not say nothing, and wait till they're just gone. Like I would just not say anything because there's no point of telling them that they're completely off, right? So, or I could just make an argument out of it and it would do exactly nothing. We would argue for a while, they get nothing, I get nothing, and just waste of energy, right? So I could go two ways around this. And of course I could actually be in power and realize that they're trying to tell me something and they're completely hurt and they have no clue what they're talking about, and I could have compassion towards them. But that would be minority that actually understand that their leader is, well, full of crap and they need leadership themselves. And then we can meet them with compassion. But if you are that leader who's just coming there and is pointing out this is the thing, that's the thing, and all these things, what happens is that you're likely to manifest the reality where you actually see that they don't care, they care less, they less corroborate, and more mistakes happen because your behavior drives them into disencouragement. But none of this is actually happening. You see, the idea that they are careless, lazy, irresponsible, these are all lies. If you look at the stable on a map of consciousness, you see clearly laziness, it's negative. It's draining. Like no one wants to be lazy. So it's a lie. So there is a truth in evidence. So there's this really powerful quote from Kybalion. Every truth is but half truth. This is so important, especially when dealing with lies, is to realize that every fact, every observation that you experience, there's a half truth in there and half lie in there. So there's always lie in what you've been served. Like there's always half truth and half lie in everything. So it's up to you to decide which part you actually want to focus on and which part is more important. Because yes, there is truth that they have this behavior which could be seen as lazy and uncaring. But are they lazy and uncaring? Of course not. Do they want to be that? Of course not. Are they behaving like that? Yes, it looks like. And the question is why? Why would they do that? And then helping them to come to this awareness. If they're not aware already, most of most likely they are already aware. They're probably not aware of the reasons why or solution. So what you can do is try to understand for yourself what is happening, why is it happening, and what would be ideal solution. So where they at, what do they want, what their goals, what are their problems, and how to solve them. Simple GPS formula. So if you feel fear, worry, anger, grief, any of these emotions, they lie to you. Off the bat, you know, whatever they're saying to me, if you feel angry towards your team, you can rest assured whatever the anger is telling you is a lie. There's not even, there's no point of bringing this anger to your team because it's already a lie. And it will just bridge, it will only create a gap and miscommunication between you and the team if you bring it raw as it is. As a good leader, I suggest you actually process the anger, understand what's happening, and deal with your emotions first. Because anger is you. Like, why would they need to hear anger? Like, they have nothing to do with you because it's your personal issue. So deal with the anger first. And then once you realize what's happening behind the scenes for you, Once you're at least neutral, then you're able to actually see the situation as it is. Because as long as you believe that there's something wrong, they will manifest reality. They will behave to be a match that says something wrong. They will either become defensive or attack back because suddenly you're attacking them. Like of course, if you attack them, they will defend. Like it's just A plus B equals C. Like 1 plus 1 equals 2. Like of course, if you attack someone, they defend or strike back. Like no person who loves themselves would behave any other way, right? Unless the person is transcending like a spiritual master and there is no attack anymore at that level, and then everything is just funny or blissful. So it's like you're kind of tickling them. But that's another story. So that's available for you as well at some point. So, and you can become that master in your leadership position as well. But the point is that as you remain positive, you're able to see situation clearly for what it is. You're able to turn this situation in your favor, but only if you remain positive. Therefore, feeling anger is not helpful. Feeling anger is helpful to diagnose why you're feeling it in the first place. Like, what are you imagining? And once you're able to identify what are you imagining, you can actually state the facts and tell the truth. State the facts and tell the truth. And if you're in lower states, I can assure you whatever you're imagining is not true. And it will manifest actually. If you're trying to okay, here's important fact. If you're trying to prove your reality or disprove your reality from these negative states, it will be very difficult for you to disprove that there's no reason for you to be angry because your team will behave in a way that makes sense for you to be angry. It's how energy works. Like they will give you more reasons to feel angry. And from their perspective, it will make sense why they behave that way, but not for the reasons you think. It's a very weird and very, yeah, it's a weird sense of humor or created for this universe that, yeah, you will both be right, you will argue for hours while not getting anywhere because you're both right. And that's what I meant by every truth is a half truth, and you get to decide which part of the equation you want to look at. And the best part of the equation, of course, is the positive one. So ask yourself what do you want and get yourself at least neutral. And that's how you discover the perspective C, where you realize that leader A didn't have any problem, team B didn't have problem either. They both were right and they both were wrong at the same time, and no one was made wrong or no one was becoming better because their perspective was some way more valid. So there's no validation or invalidation. There's just different perspectives that get the results they get. And negative perspectives give negative results. As simple as that. And if you want to get positive results, if you want to actually inspire trust and collaboration, this is only possible from positive states. Like trust is always positive and only available in positive frequencies. So you cannot build trust with anger. You can build trust by releasing anger. So this is nuance point. Many people argue about I shouldn't repress my anger, so I need to yell it out to everyone. So here's a nuance point. If you're suppressing your anger, it will not work because you're actually avoiding it. But no one says if you need to express it in a sense to other people. There's no need to express to other people. You need to hear yourself. Like, yes, many people are not in their personal mastery at the level where they're able to hear themselves, validate themselves, and love themselves. So they usually require a third person or a second person like a coach or a therapist or a good friend that is able to mirror back or just provide a safe container where they can kind of like vomit all their anger out. But this is not required. It's a normal practice because it is healthier to vomit out the anger than to keep it inside because inside it eats you and outside it eats everything else, which is not you, which is a good thing. And then you can clean it up. So And then once it's outside, you actually can deal with it. So, with that said, yes, you need to become and remain positive. Luckily, remaining positive is the easiest thing to do. And you do that by being truly honest with yourself and loving yourself. And that's how you increase team performance by first and foremost trusting yourself. And you can trust yourself because you're positive. And if you're not positive, then of course you cannot trust yourself because everything within you is lying to you by default. So the shortcut to inspire trust is to be trusting yourself. And as long as you remain positive, manipulation is impossible because you see through all the lies by default, by remaining in energies behind. The only thing that can manipulate you into manipulation is you believing in something that's not true, which feels off in the first place, which you notice if you're honest with yourself. And that's all it requires. And comes back again to awareness is the last step. Since you become aware that something is off, the question is, what is off? Why is off? And what must I believe for this feeling to be true? And then you decide where you want to stand. You decide to remain positive, and everything turns positive from that perspective. And you want to go deeper, join Flow Masters, where you can manifest with self power, explore deeper how to use emotional intelligence in your leadership, how to live in flow, and do it that it's easy and fun using self power. See you there.